Playing the Artist, a weekly web show where me and Alex talk about trying to, well, actually not trying, we're doing the damn thing. Trials and tribulations of being a self-employed artiste, designer, some sorts.
Gainfully employed.
Gainfully employed. That's true. I don't feel as that I'm as gainfully employed. Wait.
Well, I mean, you're making some gains.
Well, so not games.
Not game.
Gains. A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
As opposed to like lossfully employed or just straight up unemployed.
I've never heard lossfully unemployed.
Yeah, me either. I don't think people
say that.
No.
So, dude.
Yeah.
How you been?
I've been good. I've been away from the computer for like 4 days straight. This is my first time.
In front of it?
In front of it. I sat down this morning and I think I just put my computer to sleep or something. I didn't actually shut it down. So everything I was doing before I left was just like at my face again. And it was just like a splash of cold water. I was like, oh yeah, this is all the shit I was doing. And I kind of, I don't know, put me right back into the mix of things, I think. How's your little weekend and week and all that?
Good. Things are coming along.
That's good.
Getting closer to the the primary models, and then I can move on to the stretch goals, all that fun jazz.
Oh, booyah! That's a good milestone.
Yeah.
Main model's done.
No, you did not listen to what I just said. I said I'm almost there.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I'm just trucking away, 3D printing when I can, and just modeling and just trying to figure out, also trying to figure out like what else I need to make. Which I find that this is probably the hardest part, is like trying to figure out all my like stretch goal pieces and whatnot. And I'm not trying to worry about it right now, because I'm just trying to focus on the core set, like what I'm gonna offer to the baseline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and once those pieces are done, once they're all done, then I can. Jesus Christ!
Sorry, something I printed fell on the ground.
What'd you print?
It was just a base. It was just a big base.
Yeah, and so once those are done and whatnot, then I could step back and then make focus on that afterwards, instead of having as a hindrance behind my head.
Yeah.
Something in the background that's just kind of bothering you, where you're kind of like, I got to get this done, but it's like, well, there's no point rushing it. I still have a bunch of stuff in front of me. I'm just eager to get all this work done.
Well, that's good. I mean, do it. It keeps you on task, keeps you motivated. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, that's about it. I've been exercising a lot more, which is good. But
yeah, what are you doing? Walking?
No, kettlebells.
Kettlebelling?
Kettlebelling. Yeah, look at my, I don't know if you can see that. Look at my hands.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Doing a lot of kettlebells.
Some apish calluses on there.
I know. They're like another pair of knuckles on the inside of my hands. Yeah. But I don't know. Nothing's pretty. It's been pretty just. It's been better because I don't know, because the weather's been so shitty because we've been getting all the fire from the States and whatnot.
Well, the fire from New West. Have you walked down to the? Because like we just had our pier burned down, basically.
Not the whole pier.
Well, no, not the whole pier, but some of it.
No, just
pretty close to where you live too.
No, just where the giant W is. That's all.
They said it was like 2 blocks of fire.
That still doesn't reach the. Well, sorry, I'm thinking of the boardwalk,
Does it get to the concession area? You know,
Maybe.
that place?
I don't know.
Really,
It
that's
probably,
a really nice
if
area.
you say 2 blocks, it might as well have hit the concession. That's unfortunate. I haven't been down there. I've just been stuck in my fucking apartment for the longest time. I've just been fucking.
It's not even self quarantine. It's just
me being a nerd making models for tabletop games. I'm just really into like. I just want to get this work done.
That's awesome.
Before I head to Saskatchewan, because I won't have a very powerful PC.
Yeah. Have you thought about what work you can do on your laptop and what you can't? And is that how you're strategizing your game plan here?
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking like, well, if I can get enough like smaller end models, you know what I mean? Smaller models or just components that are not as heavy. Like the big pieces I'm working on right now. And so far, the big pieces are pretty much done. Well, that's not true. There's still going to be another one super big piece. But for the most part, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like I'll get to it. I'll get to. I got so much things on my fucking plate. Like I want to go to the eye doctor because I want to get a new pair of glasses.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what my prescription is. So
it's probably way old.
Yeah. Fucking old. So I want a new pair of glasses because these things are fucking gross and like they're like in the inside part here, like it's literally the metal is grinded down from just the bridge of my nose, just rubbing it constantly. Like the metal's
So it's metal on skin there.
Yeah, it's just there. Just yeah. Well, the little nubs kind of
nubs,
still on the sides or whatever. Anyways, enough about fucking eye doctors. Anyways, I gotta do that, and I gotta my mom's harassing me about getting a ticket early. It's like okay, so I have to do that, and yeah. Oh, my uncle, by the way.
Yeah.
Or did I mention that?
I think we talked about the last show, but I'll congratulate
again.
Sorry, it's early.
Sorry.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah. So I don't know. It might be a time of the year too. It's getting a little chillier, right?
Yeah, so, it is,
and a little more cloudier and whatnot. So the feeling to like go outside is not as doesn't dwell on me as much. So I just find myself just trucking away, Zbrush stuff. So yeah,
I like it. I'm liking the weather. It's just too hot for too long for me.
You know what? I really do. I used to hate the hot weather, and now I love it. I don't know. These couple years, I've really enjoyed the hot weather. I don't know why. Maybe I'm more comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Fuck, dude. I saw your models. Your weird man with the bat wings and the sock on his head.
Oh, you're talking about the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, and his little dragon buddies.
Don't you dare downplay the Dragon Lord.
Dude, I really like your creatures, and I think you should explore more creature stuff. I really do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to. Creatures just usually don't feel like epic enough to like build a release around them. So I'm trying to figure out how to.
What are you talking about?
Because like my whole Kickstarter is sort of. I think if I made like a big type, kind of like a boss one, maybe I could
make a beast man. Make a beast man, like a half goat man with big muscles and whatnot. Almost like a minute.
Man.
Yeah, like think about he has like hooves and big burly muscles, and he has a ram head with big horns, and he's like with his loincloth and whatnot. Right? And a mace or something, or you can like fucking make what is it? what are they called in World of Warcraft? Those hyena people, those hyena men. You know what I'm talking about? They're like
No,
half men, half hyena. They like. You ever seen those? No, I forget their names, but
maybe I don't. Yeah,
um,
I don't really know. I don't know all the WoW races. I didn't play WoW very much.
very much. So you did play
I tried it a few times, tried to get
Yeah,
into it, but it was too like
Yeah, there's a lot. I played it. I played it for a bit.
it just didn't grab me. The first quests were just not really fun.
They're not. They're not really supposed to be. They're supposed to be kind of like get you along to like to get.
Yeah,
The whole point of that game was like to get you to the hub of the world of the race you picked. Right. The hub is like the place where people go to the auction house and blah blah blah, and there's like trainers and quests and blah blah blah. That's the whole point of the first couple of quests. It's like get you to the main hub.
yeah.
But
My first couple hours is not fun. I can't. I just don't bother getting over the hump. I just move on. WoW was like that. Final Fantasy 15 was like that. It's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not getting over the hump of boringness,
yeah, I know what you mean.
drabness.
But yeah, no, I think you should. I really do think you should explore the more creature elements or like anamorphic elements. You know what I mean? Like the half, like maybe a centaur. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your version of a centaur. That'd be interesting, right?
I'm gonna make a dragon man. We're not a dragon man, but I guess kind of a lizard man.
Oh, cool.
You know that like race in D&D where they're like dragons, but they're people, but they don't have wings. They're just dragon guys. Dragon people.
Remember, fuck.
Dracos.
Draco
Draconics.
or something like that. Yeah,
I'm getting it mixed up with Skyrim. Maybe they're the same.
maybe. I'm not sure.
But I'm going to do one of those in December, I think.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I think I've got some ideas for kind of half man. Like a lot of half man, half beast things is like man body with a animal head. And I think there's more to do than just that.
Well, no, like, yeah, but like usually it depends on their feet. Usually if it's like
they might give them hooves or something.
hooves or like really big claw hands or something or tail, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like their legs might be like the the ones with the double joint kind of thing going on, depending on it,
Mm-hmm.
Or like what are those cat people or whatever? Essentially they're just like cats. They have cat heads, but they have like cat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're in Skyrim as well. Those fucking cat people.
Yeah, we'll do something like that. But like a true beast, would be good too. Would be good to do too.
Just beasts. And one of these days, that iron boar, you're gonna do it.
Yeah. So one of these days I will. I'll make it like a stretch goal or something like that.
Stretch goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to work on modeling because I've got a list of goals in my Patreon page, but I think I need some imagery on there to like really show people what there is to look forward to, which means taking a moment to do that, to make something up front. It's kind of like a Kickstarter where you are like, hey, help me fund this, but in the background it's already done. I think I need to do a bit of that. So I need to find time, but I think I might not end up doing that until next month because this month I want to, I'm focusing on my little goal before I start my my next month's work. I always have a brief window where I can do something other than just Patreon work. And I'm looking at my my cards and I want to get them set up for a test run. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of layout, a little bit of I need to design the box that they're going to be in, which I don't think will be too much work, but it won't be nothing. It's all doable, I think, in a weekend. So that's what I'm going to do this week is try and just like whatever work I need to do to get a test print set up, I'm going to do that. So that way I can kind of just go through the process once and get those cards, get some physical cards in my hands, see how it turns out, see what the process is like. And then it'll be right back into the release. And I think, then, I don't know. I'm kind of like pivoting on my release. I had this plan of like this character I was going to do, because I have this ghost character in mind for when I get my resin printer, because because you can print in clear resin now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't print in clear FDM. So I wanted to make this kind of ghost that's like half transparent and half armor covered, right? But when we look at the shipping updates of the printer, it's not shipping until late October. So that means I'm probably not going to get it till November, in which case that means it would be a poor time to do that ghost idea I had.
That's a good idea, because for Halloween and whatnot.
Oh, it was going to be so perfect. It was going to be like, hey, get my printer, ghosts come out, print the cool ghosts. And then, oh well. So I'm going to just do another idea I had.
Werewolf.
Nah, I'm not.
Vampire.
No, I'm not going to make a werewolf.
Batman.
No, I'm not going to make a Batman. No.
I don't mean like Bruce Wayne Batman. I mean like like we were just talking about, like half beast, half man kind of thing, but it's a bat.
No, I'm going to make some horsemen. I'm going to make some horseman knights who are like just armor guys, armor horses. That's what I'm going to make. So hopefully
armored horses.
Yeah,
armored horses. Okay.
So I had that model that's like the disciple, who's just like armor, kind of enchanted floating armor that's all attached, but it's not really, there's nobody inside. And I want to do that. I want to do that idea, but expand on it and make it a guy on a horse, and him and his horse are all kind of armor. They're armor creatures, armor constructs.
And they're just ghosts?
They are, sort of ghosts. They're going to be like spirits, like in the armor. But
so you'll be able to see the model then, right?
You'll be able to see through the model in spots. I'm going to try and make it. Okay. Did I ever show you
You should look at Games Workshop's stuff, because they have like these ghostly characters. Yeah. And to make them look really wispy and whatnot, it's very clever how they make their sculpts. So I would say you should check that out, because they do have like skeleton men in robes riding skeleton like horses. You know what I mean? They're like kind of floating.
Yeah, I almost don't want to look at that stuff. I don't want to be like accidentally. That's a good idea. Why don't I just do that?
Why not?
Because I don't want to be doing their ideas. I guess I don't want to. I kind of want to look at reference that's not something I'm competing against, if that makes sense. So I'm not too samey. Although what I do kind of take from them is less about the art and more about how they are presenting their stuff. I did kind of like lift a lot of, or at least I don't know. I think I deviated a little bit, but for starters, my initial inspiration, I definitely like looked at how they like showed their models off and how they kind of organized it, and like what makes how you show something that's like a digital file versus a physical file. How that's like. I think there's little subtle things you can do in the layout that kind of makes it feel more of one or the other. So
okay,
there's a fly in here. Yeah.
Me. All right then.
And I don't know. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get to work, and then that's it. I'm gonna try and keep it simple and not do too much, like I typically do, and not stress myself out. But
back to your card thing for like a test or whatever. You have a printer, right?
Yeah.
You could just do like get a template and draw on it or whatever, or like and just print it out and then just fold it up 'cause it's small enough, right? You just fold it up and just have it like just like in front of you, and then you can kind of get a better idea of it. And once you like settle on that like shitty printer paper one, then you can like then go to a distributor and like try to get one then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
If that's something you're willing to do.
No, yeah, I think I'll do that. I was thinking about even modeling the template, the box template they give you, and just like putting that in a 3D shape.
Ooh,
Just texturing it on.
That'd be pretty good too.
It's just a cube.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, for sure. So, yeah, and I wanted to, just start thinking about packaging more and like kind of like preparing one day for when COVID is done and we have conventions again, and getting like a backlog of prints and maybe kind of a simple, kind of nice little way to package them, and then hitting up a trade show of some kind with a little booth. Because once I get the resin printer,
dude, how you're gonna have to get one of those. You're gonna have to get one of those card things or something.
Oh yeah.
Or like those
are easy.
Yeah, those things that you connect to your phone so people can pay with credit or debit or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's like never been easier to get. Like you can get ones that plug into the end of your phone that are.
I just said that.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry.
Damn, dude, you're out of it.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't listening to you. I guess.
When did you wake up at?
I woke up kind of early today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You're still kind of out of it?
I think I'm just thinking as I'm listening, and therefore not listening.
That's a good way to say that you're not listening. I'm just thinking. Just thinking right now. That's why I'm not listening to you. Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. What do you? So when's an idea of the Kickstarter thing? Like, when's an idea like where you're like, I'd like to do it? Well, you'd probably want to do it next year, right?
Yeah. I think So what I would be really nice, I think, is if I did it around March, something like that, because that'll be 1 year of Patreon. It'll be my kind of anniversary, and then because what I want to do is like kind of treat these as like this is season 1 of the cards, right? Yeah. So that way, I can do every year. I can have a new season of these card decks, and re-release them and make new ones.
I like
that's
that.
If I keep up this whole thing, which I hope I do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, if you do a couple seasons, you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this. You could just say I'm done with this. You know what I mean? You don't have to. Yeah. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. I would say. I don't know what I would say because I don't have any experience with physical releases. You probably want to get yourself one of those what are they called again? Those like things that make, they're not printers. They burn like on a sticker.
Oh yeah. Those
they burn on a sticker.
Shipping label printer things.
Yeah, well, they're not a printer. They burn, right? So it's just heat. Yeah. So there's no ink. You probably want to get yourself one of those if you're gonna be mailing them at all out yourself, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then also you gotta you gotta have to like think about all the shipment stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that could be. I don't know how that's gonna go down because
all the shipment stuff, and then
that's gonna be the craziest part, I think.
And fulfilling orders, right? So you have to like work with a company that does backer fulfillment. And you'll have to contact with those people. There's there's just a bunch of things. It's not as easy as like, oh, just make a Kickstarter page and then like let the money come in.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's a bunch of other things that has to come in play.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
And you're gonna do it, and I get to watch.
Well, Sam's gonna help too. She's pretty excited about that.
You got Sam with you.
Yeah.
Also, if you ever do a convention thing like you were talking about, you'll probably have Sam at the booth as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. For sure. Yeah, I'm lucky that she's really excited about it, and she isn't just like, letting me go do my own thing or whatever. Kind of.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps. She's starting to sculpt mushrooms in Zbrush. She's like trying to learn to sculpt.
What?
I'm trying to help her.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah. She's very cool. Like, it's so funny. Like her approach is really, I don't know. It's like she's learning. I don't know. It's just like a traditional way of kind of going to school and learning. Like she almost, I don't know, is like afraid to sculpt stuff, and she's just like taking notes on the interface and stuff. She's like studying. It's like she's studying ZBrush instead of like using ZBrush.
Hey, you gotta use it, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because there's tools in ZBrush where, there's tools in ZBrush I never thought I would use, and then you find a way how to use it. You know what I mean? Or like a tool you've been using for so long, you're like, oh, you could actually use it a different way, and I didn't know this. To make a certain type of surface, right? And that only comes from two things. It's either messing about with the tools or watching other people mess around with the tools. You know what I mean? But you got to get in there with the actual sculpting tools and whatnot.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just my brain. I think it's more important, like when you're learning, to just have some kind of small goal of whatever it is. Like I'm going to make this thing from Super Mario, and then just figure out a way to get it done, to do it, because you're going to learn like little new tools along the way.
No, totally. I totally agree with that. I've learned the most. When I've like kind of, like you said, you pick a project, you're like, I'm gonna do this, and I gotta fucking figure this out, and then you start getting crafty, and there's the right way, and then there's the way you were just like, I'll just do it this way because I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in that process, you kind of accidentally kind of stumble on other techniques or other methods of tackling other problems or similar problems, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just about reps, essentially. It's just about getting in there and getting your reps and getting frustrated and being like, fuck, this is stupid, I'm never going to be good at ZBrush, and then you're like, okay, back to ZBrush and see what I can do. And
yeah. I think it's important to just like learn enough to get you to a point where you feel like kind of you're playing with clay. You have that feeling, because once you've achieved that level of like just like literacy, then you can kind of take a stab at doing any shape that comes your way. I mean, it might be rough and bumpier than you want it to be, or like lumpier than you want it to be, but I mean, you can smooth and move and clay and all that. So that's a good start. And then once you like are pretty comfortable with that, I think it's good to start adding like some of those other like kind of other weird tools into your workflow that let you do little weird things.
Oh yeah. And another thing is, oh shit, I just lost my train of thought because I was actually listening to you.
That's the other side of it. I guess it's better than repeating.
Better than repeating. I had a lot of difficulty for the longest time with ZBrush because, to be honest, we're okay, here's an honest question for you. When you were going to school, did you feel the ZBrush classes were adequate?
Dude, well, no. There's no way for 3 months, or no. Was it? No. How long are those? It's like one class per week for 3 months. There's no way that's adequate to learn anything.
I know that regardless, though. Regardless.
They were, well, I don't know who your instructor was, but the instructor I had, I liked. He'd had industry experience with software, which you don't always get.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get people who sort of know, and then they read the book, and then they relay that to you. So I felt it was pretty good, but I went to the same class. Like I essentially took the class 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Like the first time was part of my curriculum and got through it. Okay, great. And then I think the first time I took it before my official class. And then I did my class, and then I just sat in on the next one again.
Damn.
So I was just really keen on it.
That's why that's probably why you're actually good at it.
And then what really solidified it was I went to my first studio, didn't use Maya. They used Softimage, which is like it's not even a software anymore.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I can learn this new Softimage modeling package, which is going to take time, or I can just learn ZBrush a little bit more and so like a lot of the things that I was doing in Maya, I learned how to do that in ZBrush.
Oh.
And then that really like kind of just solidified it for me. And then from then on, I was just able to like kind of just keep up to date with the like every ZBrush release and kind of like keep an eye on the new tools. Because once you know it, it's like not a ton of work to just learn like the 4 or 5 new tools that come out every release.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay, they're doing this, they're doing that, this has changed. And then before you know it, you've been doing that for like 8 years, and you've like gathered 8 years of new tools, and it's like you kind of have a really like broad knowledge of ZBrush at this point. So
for sure.
Yeah. But it's harder now. I really have to be doing these I haven't even got the latest version of ZBrush. There's like cloth simulation in it and stuff.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time to download it and look into it because it's like I don't want to upgrade halfway through a project. So I ought to do that before I start my next one.
Yeah.
Definitely before I start those ghosts. I should try and see if I can.
Oh yeah, because
cloth.
That's straight up there. That's the perfect opportunity to like fuck with those ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So I'll definitely do that. But did you download the new one? Probably not. Oh, you did? Okay, great.
Yes, I did.
Lovely.
I bought it, so I might as well, upgrade it when I can. Yeah, fuck, dude. So what are you? So you're working on the cards.
Yeah, cards.
How many cards do you have, anyways?
So from Kickstarter, I've got like 25 or 27 something that have been released. Or sorry, not Kickstarter. That have been released on Patreon.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot of card art that I never released, and I have some cards that I made that I just also never finished. Didn't end up putting them in. Yeah, they're pretty close to finished, but they're just not.
Yeah.
I just never released them because they didn't fit into any of my figures. Like they all kind of tie in loosely to that theme, so none of them fit in. So I've got a lot. Like I think I could make a deck of about 50. And I'm starting to get really quick at making them too. That's the other thing. Like I sometimes would spend like 2 evenings working on one card, and now I can do like 2 cards in one evening if I'm really, if I really just focus on it. So yeah, I want to like have the card deck, have a few cards in the stretch goals. I don't know how many that is, but
you should. Well, this is what you should do, I think. I think you should have. I think you should have. You said you want 50. You have 25. You said.
Yeah, so I have 20. Yeah, something like that. I haven't counted them in a little bit.
Okay. I would say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about
here's another thing to think about. When you
like every stretch goal, you release 2 other cards, maybe, or 3 other cards, depending.
Yeah. I think 1 card is maybe too few, unless you have like really like short stretch goals, right? Like short increments.
You know what you should look into, which would be fucking crazy? Foil, like a whole foil deck, and it's like it'll cost like this much, and it'll be like your last stretch goal for like for I don't know, fucking 100,000. You'll release a foil deck, right? And your foil deck will be and the stretch goal will be like, oh, if you back like your highest tier, right? So the highest tier will be like, how are you gonna do that though? Because like God forbid you get you don't get all your stretch goals, and then you only have like 30 cards. Like you can't fit 30 cards in a in a regular old card deck. You know what I mean? It's kind of loose and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a website I'm looking at that kind of like breaks it all down for you and like your quantities and all that. And I'm not exactly sure. I think they'll just, if you don't fill the box, they'll just ship it in like kind of loose. I don't totally know what the plan is, but there's a lot of options. And like, so when you're ordering a deck of cards, there's like a price per deck, right? Depending on the number of cards that are in there, obviously, right? Like a deck of 20 cards is going to be cheaper than a deck of 50 cards.
Yes. I have an idea, but it requires you to do a lot more work.
Well, let's hear it anyway.
Okay. So here's my idea. You make a deck of 50 cards. Like that's what you're offering. Like that's what you want to raise the money for. This one deck with 50 cards. All the cards are already done. There's a bunch of cards already done that are not on your Patreon. So it's like even more special. So like if you don't reach any stretch goals, like they'll get like new stuff, right? And then you can have maybe you can have like essentially sorry, I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to like spell it out in my head to make sure I don't sound ridiculous. So the foil, that's one idea. Right?
I don't know if I can even print in foil. That's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
Gold trim? I don't. Just something that's like fancy. I'm sure there's a way to like do that with a company. Just have to find the right company, right? But anyways, maybe you can essentially make a whole another deck of cards that are the same, but they're like, I don't know, like they're like, I don't know, it's like evil themed or something like that. So imagine all the cards that you make in this 50 card deck, and then you make a whole nother other deck of the same cards, but they're like haunted. They're all haunted or whatever. You know what I mean? And then you can spread that out. That one. You know.
Yeah. So you're kind of describing I think there was another card Kickstarter maybe like 6 months ago. It was all magical items.
Yeah.
And then there would be categories of like sort of themes like you described.
Yeah.
But that was like they had like hundreds, like over 500 cards, I think, in that Kickstarter. And I'm pretty sure it didn't get funded because the price it needed was like several dozens of thousands.
Here's an idea. Maybe I'm thinking too big too. Maybe you should offer 50 cards for like the baseline, and then like I don't know, 10 other new cards, and then a foil thing. If you can do a foil pack or whatever.
You can do an entire deck of foil like cards. But like as far as like inserting one foil into a deck of regular cards, I think that's more convoluted of a process.
Well, then then offer just a whole deck that's just all foil.
Or maybe you have maybe all of the stretch goals, right, are foils. So that way you have your regular deck, and then on top of that, you're adding the secondary kind of smaller deck, but it's a smaller deck of foils. The only risk there is if you don't make your stretch goals, like if you only made 10 cards worth of stretch goals, and that's kind of crappy, because there's a minimum of, I think, 21 cards you need to order before they'll consider it a full order of a deck, right?
Yeah.
That's like, you're expecting a deck of 50 cards, but a deck can be as low as 20, but like 15 cards, it's not really a deck.
Yeah. Well, how about this? How about you get 30, right? 30 cards, and then you have room for 20 new cards, right? And then those 20 new cards will also have a foil range, right? Depending which come out.
Yeah.
Like that gives you a lot of room for a bunch of different stretch goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Think about it.
Maybe.
Physical stretch goals are really hard because it's like digital is so easy. It's just you get this now, great. But with physical, it's like that kind of affects your calculation. Like each stretch goal you unlock is like, it's additional content that is not really captured in your kind of that little business model you think up, where it's like this tier is $30, and so now, like if you don't make, it's almost like more beneficial for you to not make any stretch goals in a way, because then because the more you make, the more it eats out of your kind of profit margin for those, because you're not adding any.
Then make the stretch goals higher.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, just make them higher. Or just keep it fucking small. You know what I mean?
I think I'm going to try to keep it really simple. It's already kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is fucking. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like I think it's, if I just have if I have a stretch of less than 20 cards, it's only a few, then you can just add that to the deck. It's pretty easy to just add a few, like make your deck slightly larger than.
Yeah, but 50. You got to remember though, there's going to be some people that will back.
Everyone's going to get all the stretch goals no matter who you are, right? That's the idea, right?
Oh, that's what you're going to do?
Pretty sure. I think, isn't that the way you have to do stretch goals on Kickstarter? Is like when you hit a stretch goal, everybody gets it? No. Oh, okay.
That's not what I did.
Oh, really? So you had to be a certain tier to get your stretch goals?
Mm-hmm. And the stretch goal one, you pay a little bit more, right? You're buying you're investing a little bit more money, right?
Okay, so you had like your standard tier, get all the stuff.
Yep.
And then standard tier plus $5 or something, and then you get all the stuff plus any stretch goals that get unlocked. Kind of okay.
Yeah, more than $5.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. That's great, because that gives you like another little
don't you know
increment to jump up.
Don't you know that's how it's done?
No, I guess not.
That's the whole shtick of Kickstarter. The whole shtick is like, hey, I'm offering this thing, and if you pay this much, you'll get it, and if we raise this much, you'll get it. But if you pay a little bit more, we'll unlock this, and you'll get this. If you pay a little bit extra, Yeah. It depends. Hang on a second. I think it depends, though. Depends on what you're offering, I suppose.
You'll have to show me. I'll have to look at some examples, or even just show me yours, because I just assumed that every tier gets the stretch goals.
No, I had a core set. The core set was like the cheapest one, and then there was an all-in one where you pay more, but you get every stretch goal. You know what I mean?
That might be unlocked.
That might be unlocked. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
cool.
That's what people do.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised you don't know this, because like other podcasts talk about this formula and stuff like that, and other people talk about this formula.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just thought that stretch goals were more
You could do that. You could offer a thing where it's like, hey, if you pledge to this thing, and if we get these stretch goals, everybody gets everything. You can do that too. But if you have like price differences, then you can kind of have a thing where people are. So either you get two types of people where they're like, I really like this thing, and I'm going to pay the extra money, or you get people that are like, oh, I'm just going to pay for the simple set, and it's cheaper because I can't really afford this stretch goal one with all the extra bells and whistles, but I really like the thing, so I'll pay the cheaper one, right? So you get kind of two parties of people, right?
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that's awesome, man. Thanks for telling me that, because I think
I'm sure that would have come up sooner or later, right?
Yeah. Well, better sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because you want to have that ladder of, I think you want to have that ladder of rewards so that people can climb up as they need to drive the stretch goals forward. If you're really close, if everybody just takes another step up the ladder, then everybody gets a cool reward for it. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. Right. And then what happens sometimes, some people will upgrade their pledge. That's happened to me, where somebody was like, oh, I'll just do the basic core set. And then later on, like a week later, like, no, actually, I just saw these new stuff that just got unlocked. I'll up my order now, they'll upgrade it. So, and sometimes they'll unupgrade it or decline it or whatever you want to call it.
You can I guess through the whole course of that.
For the whole course of the Kickstarter, they can cancel it, they can upgrade it, or they can go to a lower tier,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, you have a meeting, apparently.
Yeah, I got an early meeting I got to get to.
You got an early meeting. Yeah. So, Alex.
Yeah.
Let's try to hang out this weekend. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. I'm super excited about your creatures you're going to be making, and also this card thing, because like I've said, I want to do physical releases one of these days, because it's terrifying, and I think it'd be a good experience.
Yeah.
What else? That's about it. But so thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist. If you want to help out the show, please leave a like or leave a comment or subscribe. It helps a lot. And if you want to even support us individually, you can follow us on our social media. So, Alex, where can we find you?
Beautiful transition, man. Yeah, you can find me at Instagram, Tiger Skull RPG, all one word on Instagram. Same as Facebook. Give a look for my group there. And then, of course, patreon.com/TigerSkullRPG if you want to get the latest monsters and creatures and figures and all that, and cards.
Hey, what about that mailing list, by the way?
Oh, yeah, my mailing list. What about it?
Did you get MailChimp?
No, I didn't get MailChimp. I didn't get MailChimp yet.
All right. I'm almost at 200.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, I've got, like, with Shopify, you get, like, a mailing list.
Yeah, but you don't get MailChimp.
You don't get the chimp. No, you don't.
All right.
So I got to compare the two and see what I'm missing with this chimp.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram at Forbidden Prince, or Twitter at Forbidden Prince, or My Mini Factory, or Thingiverse for free, or you can buy some 3D printable models for your tabletop games at Forbidden Prince. Prince, like a printing press, not the type that sits in a castle with a crown. Alex, have a good week. And it's actually going to be a nice day, so maybe you should go outside and get some sun.
I will.
And this collar is so... What the hell is going on here? You know what I mean?
Looks like you rolled in that collar.
Probably. Probably did. Anyways, see you, Alex.
Right.
Have a good day.
Peace out, homie. Later.